A miraculous escape last night at Calder Park for two Melbourne drag races. Darren Caret and Keith Agius were competing in the Top Fuel Funny Cars event. Caret was clocked at nearly 400 kilometres an hour taking the race, but Agius's clutch blew just before the finish line and his car burst into flames. With parachutes out, 22-year-old Caret was slowing down, but behind Agius was out of control, still travelling above 300 kilometres an hour, and ran into his opponent. Both drivers somehow emerged unharmed. After the break, the back-to-work weather, and all in the name of a good cause,
From the 50,000 people sat stunned as Keith Agius's nitro funny car exploded into flames, careering into the car of Darren Caret. Agius was unaware of the full horror of the crash until watching 7 News footage of the fiery collision.
It was just that hot, I just wanted out. I didn't know what had happened. All I knew was that I was still breathing and I wanted out.
Travelling at 300 kilometres per hour with his parachutes burnt off, Agius was heading straight for a concrete wall. Ironically, the crash saved his life by slowing him down. If it hadn't...
I know what it would be, and I don't want to talk about it because my family was there, my mother, my dad, and they got pretty upset.
The former national champion missed last year's titles after suffering burns in another fiery crash. David Loudon, 7 Nightly News.
The MCG came under siege today from...
Melbourne driver Keith Agius was lucky to survive a collision with his opponent and a huge fireball. Peter Overton has more.
Of all things, it was a funny car race, but the smiles soon disappeared when the clutch on Keith Agius's Chev exploded at 300 kilometres an hour. The 5,000 horsepower machine then careered into Darren Caret's Ford, who was winding down from 400 kilometres an hour. A cocktail of speed and nitromethane could have been a lethal mix. Instead, the two drivers remarkably escaped injury. A trackside cake for Peter.
Set the stage for one of the most spectacular crashes in the history of the sport in this country.
Yes, and thankfully, as Andrew Voss reports, no one was hurt, but drivers Darren Caret and Keith Agius, they certainly gave new meaning to the term funny car racing.
The National Championship at Calder Park outside Melbourne is drag racing's showpiece. Last weekend the fans came in numbers, Saturday's crowd topping the 50,000 mark. That smell of burning rubber, the machine gun chatter of the top fuelers and spectacular quarter-mile passes. For funny car drivers Keith Agius and Darren Caret, it was a night they'll never forget. Both had cruised through the early rounds, Agius in his Oz Nitro car reaching speeds of around 400 kilometres per hour. And Caret, at his debut meeting, already chalking up regular 5-second passes. Their semi-final, though, was something else. Agius on the right of screen blew his clutch, and in a split second, his car was a thundering fireball. Caret in the left lane had completed a superb 5.65 second pass. But that wasn't the end of the ride. Out of control, Agius slams into the rear of the motorcraft funny car. What followed was a car and human body count. Both drivers shaken, but okay.
Big time, my head's throbbing. Hey, I'm all right. He's all right. He's all right. I just come down to see Keith out.
Darren, what did you see, mate? First time?
I was going across the finish line, pulled the parachutes, everyone was fine, and all of a sudden the car just took off to the left and the body come off, and I'm going over hills and bumps, and I just couldn't believe didn't know what was going on.
What an introduction to funny car racing.
Mate, my first meeting and this has happened. I can't believe it.
Keith, what on earth happened?
I really don't know. I'm all right. Been in fires before, Dave, my partner here.
I love him like a brother, this bloke, looks after me, and I think the clutch let go, I don't know, it just hurt me feet. And I've been in a fire before. The last time I had a full pass, I got burnt in Adelaide, you know.
Keith, can you believe when you see this carnage around you that you're both standing here, Darren and you were standing here as if nothing's happened almost?
Yeah, they're pretty safe cars. All I know is that Dave and I, the sort of the youngest blokes doing it in Oz Nitro, don't have sponsorship, and this is going to kill us. It'll kill us in the sport, and look how big the sport is, because no one seems to want to sponsor cars like ourselves. And this sort of a deal costs 50, 60 grand, blow up like this, and Dave and I...
Well, how do you feel when you look at that?
Heartbroken. Heartbroken.